Huge news with Cowboys edge rusher Micah Parsons posting today on social media that he wants a trade. He's been a hold-in at camp seeking a new deal. Adam Schefter reports that talks were actually going backward from Parsons' initial meeting with owner Jerry Jones in March. And Parsons today explaining on social media what's been happening over the last couple of years. And it is a lengthy post, but this to me is the most glaring part. Quote, "Up to today, the team has not had a single conversation with my agent about a contract. Not one demand has been made by my agent about money, years, or anything else. Still, I stayed quiet. But again, after repeated shots at myself and all the narratives, I have made a tough decision. I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally." I just mentioned him. Let's bring in our NFL insider, Adam Schefter. Shefty, how did we get to this point with Dallas and Micah Parsons?
This has been building, Elle, for quite some time, and the fact that we've seen other pass rushers get contract extensions in recent months, and the Cowboys haven't even had any conversations with Micah Parsons since late March, early April, when the Dallas Cowboys felt that the makings of a deal were in place, tells you where things are today. And it led to Micah Parsons telling Stephen Jones he now wants out of Dallas. Now, usually Jerry Jones likes this sort of attention, but when we go back to previous contract stalemates with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb in recent years, none of those players ever issued a trade request the way that Micah Parsons did today. Now it's up to the Dallas Cowboys to figure out how they want to proceed. But Micah Parsons' big objection was the fact that he felt like he was going to talk to Jerry Jones about leadership, and somewhere during the talk of those conversations, Jerry Jones turned it into a negotiation that did not make Micah Parsons feel entirely comfortable. When he went to hand it off to his agent, the Cowboys got uncomfortable, and there's been no conversations since then until today, when Micah Parsons said he would like to be sent away from the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, negotiating with agents is literally par for the course in this particular industry. But let's humor me for a second. Let's say Dallas does trade Parsons. What kind of return would they get?
Well, you could look back to the time when the Raiders traded away Khalil Mack to the Chicago Bears the week before the opener, and it included multiple picks, including 2 first-round draft picks. There is the compensation back then that was traded. But let me say this, El. I do not believe that the Cowboys want to nor intend to trade Micah Parsons. We'll see how dug in Micah Parsons is. Jerry Jones wants to win a Super Bowl. Who knows how many more chances he's going to get to try to win one. Micah Parsons is the best player on their team. He's 26 years old. He's one of only 2 players in NFL history that has had at least 12 sacks in each of his first 4 seasons, the other being Reggie White. This is not the kind of player that you want to move on from for draft capital in future years when you want to win now. So there'll be a lot of drama in Dallas until this is resolved, but something tells me the Jones family will not want to and does not intend to trade Micah Parsons.
We saw in recent years, outside of the Cowboys, Lamar Jackson, when he couldn't work out the deal with the Ravens at first, request a trade as well. Obviously, it worked out, and he is still a Raven, but we'll see how this plays out, and obviously Adam Schefter will be all over it for us as it does. Thank you, Shefty. But, I mean, honestly, you guys, why not just pay the man? It feels inevitable. I mean, he's produced a pass rush win rate of over 30% since his league debut. That is the best in the NFL. He's a 2-time All-Pro. He's pressured the quarterback on about 17% of his pass rush snaps. That is also tops in the league. For much more on the precarious Micah Parsons situation, we bring in Kevin Clark, who's host of This Is Football. I mean, how do you see this playing out? What are we doing?
Very few things are more worthless, Elle, than a superstar in the NFL demanding a trade.
Yeah.
Never happens. Okay, they say it, and then either, I mean, I was the idiot who thought that Myles Garrett was doing his stand for more than money. Oh, it was personal. Oh, it was because he wanted to go to a winner.
Yeah.
Guess what? Money solves everything. Money will eventually solve this, but I see a lot of flashing red warning signs here, okay? I'm in the car right now driving down I-84, and I'm seeing a check engine light on the Dallas Cowboys because this situation feels different. And everybody says, oh, well, this is how they handle business in Dallas. That makes it worse.
Correct.
That's not good, okay? And so you run to sign an extension with someone like Micah Parsons. A quarter of the Dallas Cowboys pressures last year were from Micah Parsons. That was top 5 in the league, despite the fact that Micah Parsons missed 4 games last year. That's a historic share. I just think this is ridiculous. They got to sign him soon.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Zillennials at home would say, go back to last year to Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, and that this is how they do business. Us old heads can go back to '93 with Emmitt Smith, and it took Charles Haley putting his helmet through a locker and saying, we can't do this without Emmitt, and them starting out 0-2 for them to finally sign Emmitt. And what'd they do that year?
Well, not only that, not only they won the Super Bowl, but listen, the Zoomer version of the sticking your helmet to the locker is changing your profile Twitter picture to a photo of Micah Parsons, which 4 Cowboys did today.
Okay, Mina, what's your reaction to Micah Parsons wanting out of Dallas?
This feels like a giant waste of everybody's time because the Dallas Cowboys are probably going to pay Micah Parsons. The reality is they should have paid Micah Parsons a long time ago. He is one of the best defensive players in football. He is their best defensive player. He is 26 years old. These are the type of players you pay and give gigantic contracts to, typically early, Frank, the way the Philadelphia Eagles do it with a lot of success. The only reason this has dragged out as long as it has is that Jerry Jones tends to drag these things out in a way that is not helpful to the team. So I still feel like he's going to be a Dallas Cowboy. I just think that this drama has been unnecessary.
You know, the way the league is set up with the financial structure, it's almost like the player has to do this, as crazy as it sounds, because he's under contract for this year, about $24 million. Then he could be franchised the next 2 years. So he's trying to strike while they're on his side. He's clearly one of the best defensive players in football. He's eventually going to get paid, and he'll become the highest, non-quarterback in the NFL. He's that good. But there is a part of me that thinks that Jerry Jones just likes the drama of it. He likes the Cowboys being in the news cycle. It never ends. My thing to you would be, is it smart to do it with a generational talent like this, though?
You know, it's another way to get in the news. Win playoff games, win a Super Bowl.
You're right.
And the more productive way to do that is to pay your really good players. But what do I know? All right, that's it. We're done. Back to you.
For more on the Super Bowl champs, we bring in Dan Graziano. And Grazman, I'm glad you're not on the Cowboys beat today. Let's talk about the Eagles. A lot of turnover for the defending champs, including at OC. What's the team saying about how things could be different in Philly this season?
Well, I wouldn't expect it to be too much different. They elevated Kevin Patullo to the offensive coordinator spot to succeed Kellen Moore. But Patullo was on the staff last year. This is his 5th year with the Eagles, his 5th year with Jalen Hurts. So he knows well that the Eagles last year found a formula where they could succeed by running the ball with Saquon Barkley behind their awesome offensive line. So Patullo might come in and put his stamp on things, might make a couple of tweaks here and there, but the formula is likely to stay the same. And Lane Johnson, their starting right tackle, told me that's exactly the way they want it.
I would love to be a run play action team. It makes things really fun up front. So really balanced last year. So it was a lot easier in the passing game when you have somebody in the backfield that can do that. So really balanced. We'd like to have a similar approach this year.
So we were talking to Lane Johnson after a practice in which Saquon Barkley was all over the place. He caught passes out of the backfield. He broke off a long run. He trash-talked the defense after he ran for a short touchdown and then a 2-point conversion. So the Eagles know where their bread is buttered. Kevin Patullo knows that Saquon Barkley was the key to success last year, and this is a team that is driven to repeat as Super Bowl champions. They're likely to stick with what worked for them last year.
Yeah, the odds makers like Jalen Hurts right now, too. 16-1 to win MVP this season, which would be huge if it comes to fruition. Grazman, the Eagles have not ever had an MVP in the Super Bowl era. Interesting, Grazman. Yeah.
How about that?